Good afternoon and welcome into HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. My name is Bahamut and today I am joined once again by the lovely Grubby and Crowan. We had a bunch of awesome games yesterday and we're still here into our playoff ladder bracket. It is going to be, well, it's a do or die day once again, Grubby, as you actually had a really nice stream just now, didn't you?
Yeah, we got lucky. I mean, one of the things I love about Heroes of the Storm when you're playing Storm League is you don't know who are going to be on your team. You will have stories of woe and suffering, and you'll commiserate with your friends about the bad game you just had and why people never follow calls. There's also many games where allies impressed you, where they popped off, where they got kills, where they tanked or zoned particularly well, and that's for us the magic about it. And well, today we got lucky. We had really nice teammates, so we had a number of subsequent victories. Super fun, and all ready for the CCL, in a great mood.
That's perfect. Now, Crowan, my friend, have you had a nice night relaxing, eating a lot of pizza, and just examining all the breakdowns and plays from yesterday's games?
No pizza. I made some salmon, actually. It was very good. But yeah, nice dinner and a nice way to relax and prepare for today's games. Excited to get into it. I mean, hey, more teams eliminated today. Just gonna keep breaking them down. I'm here for it.
As you mentioned, this is the ladder bracket, and teams will be eliminated from Season 2 of CCL, and we'll get into that in a little bit right now. Excuse me, we'll get into a little bit of that later. Right now, let's talk about the prize pool. For anyone that doesn't know, 60% of the donations will go into the prize pool, and that'll be broken down into first place taking 35%, second place 20%, so on and so forth. We're at $13,830 because of your support and your generosity, and I have been told that there are two, not just one, there are two goals today. One of the goals is if we hit 14,000 for the prize pool, Bandit will come on stream and he'll say hello to you all. The second is the generosity of the community. Texas CPA has put a challenge to the community. If we can hit $14,500 today during this stream, he will donate $500 to push that prize pool to $15,000. So shout out to Texas CPA for putting a challenge to the community. And if you'd like to donate towards that prize pool and get either of those goals hit, you can hit ! prize pool in chat. And Grubby, I know, isn't it kind of amazing? Like, 15,000 and we're not even into, well, potentially 15,000. We're not even into the double elimination bracket yet.
Yeah, but we've already passed over the halfway mark, and people have been contributing so much. But Texas CPA, a longtime supporter of the CCL as well, coming in with this big offer. If we get that next 500 and 160 for the Bandit, he's going to put in another 500 to take us all the way to the next level. Would be amazing support. Hope you guys are enjoying the games today and have been enjoying, and the final few play days that we're going to be having after today as things heat up and we get to ever higher ranks with the teams in the CCL.
Things are definitely heating up, so let's go ahead and check out how the pot of stew is starting to warm up as we have our standings for you all and just kind of look at who's sitting where. Right now, we have Simplicity, Storm Esports, and 30K Crowan, who are, they're sitting comfy in that double elimination bracket, but we still have Oxygen, Chili, and WildHeart sitting for today's games. Expectations, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, we saw 7 and 8 unfortunately leave us. They were the worst performing teams, Diamond Hands and Granite Gaming, in the regular season, so they are eliminated first today. Will that same trend continue? Are we going to say goodbye to Chili Mountain and WildHeart today? I'm not so sure. I think that WildHeart, they might be able to make a bit of a redemption run, and while I'm not necessarily confident they can bring that with the same success into the top 4, I think they might be able to get away with it today.
You were mentioning the games that had happened yesterday, and we can actually break down that ladder. And Grubby, I mean, as we look at this, are you kind of like, yeah, this is how things were supposed to shake out, or were you like, dang, I was hoping Granite Gaming would maybe be in that slot today?
Dude, nobody knows, right, how it's going to go. I think Diamond Hands, they were looking pretty good in the season, but they were a little unfortunate yesterday with one of their players disconnecting, moving to another place, and then them having to use the substitute. Big respect to Diamond Hands for making the best out of it and still winning a game with their sub and making some close games. But it was Granite that would move on, but then they got smashed down pretty hard by WildHeart Esports. WildHeart Esports could have been a top 3 team. but they lacked a spark in the middle of the season. Yesterday, they really showed up, and with full respect to their opponents, they do quietly and confidently think they could take it further. Chili Mountain is a strong hill to climb, and it's definitely going to be a challenge for them.
It could be a slippery slope for those Varian players trying to smash their way through the ice wall or the fortitude that Chili Mountain does have. Want to quickly go ahead and thank our sponsor who has joined us, PSD Underwear. You can find the best skins for your IRL underwear game at PSD and get 20% off of your order with the special promo code WISDOM, WISDOM. You can type !PSD in chat and you can get a list, or excuse me, you can get a link over to the curated list of wonderful underwear. As you saw in our little hype video coming into this, the PSD Weekly Brief, the Bob Ross, almost said it, the Bob Ross pair of underwear, it helps you grow hair, maybe. We'll see. I mean, get yourself a pair and find out for yourself, but !PSD, they are extremely comfortable, and I highly recommend you check them out. But we've talked about underwear, we've talked about prize pool. Let's talk about these two teams here, Grubby and Crowan. We've got a lot of great games today, but let's break this down. Chili Mountain roster, Crowan. What's your excitement? Is it Cattle, someone you used to play against and maybe even scrim with or against as well? Or is it maybe the big plays from Azerite on the range assassin role?
Yeah, so obviously Cattle is a fantastic player. I'm not sure if excitement and Caterpillar really go hand in hand. Cattle's always that, more like reserved, just consistent, strong player, will be able to lead the team overall in a macro sense, but not really be able to like micro them and get them super high. I feel like Cattle's just not that kind of player, but that's okay because we have other leaders on this team as well. And I think specifically looking to Azerite on that damage role, I think Azerite's a fantastic damage dealer, and some hype plays, maybe some Cassia. Azerite definitely loves the Cassia, but I think we're going to see a lot of dominance out of that player specifically.
Yeah, Make is actually a standout one for me as he really kind of hypes up Cattle in these games. But now, Grubby, looking over at the WildHeart roster, what are your thoughts on all of this?
Dude, Buds was showing double heal setups that we haven't seen a whole lot. He's rocking that Tyrande, that ranged damage dealer that can give vision, do good damage, good burst, nice lunar flare stuns, and really respectable healing. Unaverted, always on the scaling backliners. Weary Day quietly supporting his team with 0 death counts and just clutch saves. Zergling coming in with the flanks, being flexible on Urel, on Blaze, and many others. And then Pitkit, of course, the tank that is no tank. This is not a riddle, but he's played many heroes that aren't classified as a tank by Blizzard. Yesterday, though, a lot of taunting coming out from him. Not in the BM fashion, but with Garrosh and Varian, and some special builds, C-Smash and Decimate. Can these special picks propel them to the next stage, or will Chili Mountain stop them in their tracks? I'm so excited to get this show started and see how the games are going to be going today.
Grubby, the excitement's here with me as well, as we're going to go ahead and check out immediately where we're heading to for map number 1. We've got that information ready for everyone at home. The members of Chili Mountain are the higher seeded team, so they actually have first pick or map pick priority. Chili Mountain will choose first pick for game number 1. Chili Mountain, as they have done all season long, bans out Dragonshire. WildHeart, as they've done all season long, bans out Alterac Pass. And I saw in some of the admin chat, Zergling was like, Garden of Terror's looking pretty juicy because neither of these teams have played on that map. But WildHeart, they're going to go with their comfort here, and they're going to go to Tomb of the Spider Queen. This is WildHeart's best map. They are 5-1 on this map, Crowan, and it's a great place to kick things off in a do or die series where, as we keep saying, if you lose your best of 5 today, you're going home. That's the end of your season of HeroesCCL, and you get to watch the playoffs or the playoff bracket in a couple weeks. But what do you think about this Tomb of Spider Queen first map for WildHeart, or even just in general as we get kicked off into our first best of 5 in a moment?
Yeah, it's a good map for WildHeart. They've shown dominance on it, and they even shown dominance yesterday with, I believe it was the Maiev Tyrande on this map. And while necessarily it doesn't quite go, together the most smoothly, they did make it work very well. So I'm curious to see if they continue along with the same thought process and go a similar draft. But that must be something that's on Chili Mountain's radar, right? Chili Mountain being the higher seed, got to watch all the games yesterday, see how WildHeart was approaching drafts, and it's hard to deny WildHeart out of something specific that they want to go, because they come in with a draft plan, not just like I'm going this no matter what. They're able to flex out so many things, as they've said in interviews all throughout the season. So denying WildHeart in draft, not really doable. It's just where's WildHeart want to take it is really the question on my mind.
We've got a couple stats for you here, Grubby, as we see this Blaze being banned out. Not only is Blaze being really popular right now, but WildHeart actually has a 4-0 win streak with Blaze. So getting rid of him is a smart ban. And this is the Blaze priority. It's not like this is Blaze over the season. This is Blaze over like the last 2 weeks of play. So this is actually really, really strong. The other really cool ban thing I wanted to note for you, I said yesterday that WildHeart had like 20 something Hogger bans. Now it's at 30, but the members of Chili Mountain have banned out Hogger 16 times. Neither of these teams like it, Hogger, except for when Chili Mountain actually gets it, because they kind of play it okay here and there. So it's exciting as we're getting into this. I got a few more stats, but we'll spread those out over this best of 5 series. I want to get your thoughts, Grubby, as we're getting into this.
Yeah, that's super interesting. It means that actually Chili does not need to ban Hogger now because they know WildHeart will do it for them. They get 2 free bans. WildHeart has been banning Stitches and Hogger non-stop in the brackets. Here in the playoff brackets, the gauntlet, the knockout, and it now should be no different. Unless somehow they make the ultimate bluff and say, neither of us like it, do your worst.
That's a possibility, and that actually will be the 12th Stitches ban from WildHeart as well. So a lot of the Stitches bans as he had that rework, but Junkrat priority ban.
Bluff, glove on the table. Are you gonna do it? We both don't like Hogger. We don't think you got it in you, Chili Mountain. And Chili Mountain's like, we don't know. We never prepared for this moment.
Or
yeah, that's the thing. You probably don't prepare for this moment because you know that WildHeart bans Hogger every single time, so you probably haven't practiced Hogger into this matchup. That's actually really smart, I think, by WildHeart.
But there's one thing to consider too, as I was looking at a lot of these numbers, is that Chili Mountain has played the least amount of maps. They've played 24 maps throughout the group stage. The highest, or the closest to them, I believe, was Oxygen with 26 maps. And also, Chili Mountain has played the least amount of heroes, 35. The lowest starting at 40, I think, was Simplicity, and going up to about 50-something with Diamond Hands. So maybe there's not enough information, but it's a URL, so that's a good pickup. That's a good start for the side of Chili Mountain, but I like the Stukov as well here, Crow. And what do you get with that? It's going to be the Cassia.
Yeah, going through the Cassia, fantastic pick. Not only denies Azerite, a comfort pick, but it was just good for that team as well. And with Chili Mountain having Hogger available, they pick Urel instead. So I think it's very clear that they didn't really practice with Hogger in mind. At least maybe not for Tomb. Hogger is still, I think, fine on every single map. Maybe Tomb getting a little bit less value than usual, but Urel's still a really solid pick. So, but the thing that's interesting to me is it being prioritized as highly as first pick, but Diablo and Brightwing coming through now for Chili Mountain. Cattle on a very fantastic frontline tank. Let's see if it can be punished. I mean, there's still things like Malthael available, things like Tychus as well. Probably awkward to run both Cassia and Tychus in that slot, but Malthael still very, very possible. Haven't seen any of it, I believe, in yesterday's competition.
Yeah, it seems like only Cure from Simplicity really is looking at Malthael all too much, at least in the CCL. We haven't seen a lot of other people go for it. It's a Tychus ban from WildHeart, and I would just like to get everyone's attention back on the fact that WildHeart is most likely going to be running this with a taunter like Garrosh Ovarian and with a double healer setup. This is something they have been doing. At the moment, Chili Mountain has no way to reduce healing output. If Varian gets to level 20 with double heal, he can give 72.5% bonus healing because he gives spell power, and then that gets amplified by 50% with 100% uptime with Glory to the Alliance. Imagine having 2 healers putting out 200% healing, and suddenly it's 340% healing because of those buffs. We don't see the Varian yet. It's going to be the Maiev. We may see that combo that I just talked about coming back later. It's going to be Maiev and Diva. We're all thinking about the Tyrande in the final pick, but hasn't picked yet, and that's what they ran yesterday.
I'm thinking about...
It's gonna be Tyrande.
Well, you know what I was also thinking about, though, with the ban onto Tychus? I also kind of like a Kerosene. Bud's Kerosene was really good yesterday. It has that dive ability and mobility for the Cassia. This Sylvanas was expected for the side of Chili Mountain, but the Mephisto, I'm very excited here, Crow, and I want to get your closing thoughts on this draft, because we're starting to get ready for game number 1. What's this final pick going to be? Or what's your breakdown and analysis?
It should be Kerosene if they want to go support, but I'm worried that they're going to pick Tyrande here just because they like doing it. And if WildHeart likes to do something, they just do it, even if it's better or not. It's just what it is. I think it was a good Garrosh ban by Chili Mountain.
Yeah.
I do like their draft. Mephisto and Sylvanas, I think, are really good damage dealers. And yeah, it's Tyrande. I mean, we'll see if they can make it work. I don't like that pick. I think Kerosene would have been way better to be able to 7-side Diablo once he goes in. Sure, Yrel could tank some of that, but with enough damage coming out from Maiev and Cassie as well as a D.Va bomb splitting the team, I think that would have been a perfect recipe for success. I'm a little bit worried to WildHeart, so I will have to give this draft advantage, I believe, over to Chili Mountain in this game number 1.
I'd be leaning into that as well. It's hard for me to see a way that WildHeart really shuts down Chili Mountain, but that is also the WildHeart way that they do things. You know, you look at their compositions, you're like, that won't happen. And then halfway through the game, we're just like, oh, that's how it's gonna happen. Okay, yeah. All right. So I'm with you on this. I'm gonna put my vote onto Chili Mountain. I have a 69% prediction rate with them, so I've got a pretty good idea of their games here. But I mean, it's the Sylvanas and the Mephisto. Those are two big factors for me going into this because there's so much follow up into the Diablo. The control from Yrel, really like the Brightwing as well. We'll just have to see if Containment Disc will be able to shut down a lot of the members of Chili Mountain and then allow WildHeart to start picking and pulling and blowing up this composition. It's really I think it comes down to 10 talent tiers for WildHeart. Otherwise, on the side of Chili Mountain, things are just looking comfortable. Good draft, good push potential, good defense as well. Like they check every single box as we're just about to get into game number 1 here, everybody. And I don't know. I'm excited. Grubby, I want to get your thoughts here as well. Oh, the moment I bring up Grubby, the game loads in immediately. So that's how things always grow. But Grubby, maybe anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's just cool to see WildHeart do things in WildHeart fashion. As we'll connect back with Crone after the game and get his analysis. It's good to see WildHeart being WildHeart. Chili Mountain, love to see another team repping the Mephisto together with Kepi, of course, from Storm. Bahamut, take it away. Let's player intros.
Into Tomb we go. Chili Mountain on the left-hand side. We got Banana on the Brightwing Cattle on the Diablo, Azerite on the Sylvanas, Make on the Mephisto, and Burgult on the Yrel. Over in the red, we've got WildHeart Esports. We're looking at Zergling on the D.Va, Pit Kid on the Maiev, Unaverted on the Cassia, Weary Day on the Stukov, and Buds on the Tyrande. Oh, did the Sentinel hit someone on the opposing side?
Yep,
it did. Cattle. GG's. I made the wrong prediction, and that's all I can say, though. No, Grubby, I mean, like, we can break this down a little bit more, because Tomb has a very, I wouldn't say slow start, but standard rotations, maybe a potential gank here and there. I want to dive in this a little bit further as we're looking at level 1s. Do you think that WildHeart has enough to actually pick apart the Chili Mountain composition, or is this going to be Chili Mountain just freezing WildHeart and then just knocking them down?
Yeah, I mean, there's the first scrap. I don't want to say first blood, it's just a D.Va mech. It's about half a team kill or so. WildHeart did succeed to get a small priority on the top lane, but it looks like that may actually make it difficult to pick up the gems with what Unaverted did in the top lane. Midkid gonna try to posture for that and get those gems. There's 2 on the ground. Unaverted does not dare to step up, and those are gone. Having said that, I think WildHeart drafts are often not really very transparent to the average viewer and caster. You don't really see how the heroes that they have are supposed to deal with the heroes their enemy team has.
Right.
It doesn't look traditionally good. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt, because certainly WildHeart has earned it. Tyrande can Hunter's Mark and auto-attack Mephisto. And while that doesn't kill him in the way that a Gorge Abduct or a Cocoon cocooning may actually do to him, she still puts out good damage and gets healing done on Mephisto in this manner. And I believe Maiev Umbral Bind has a very positive interaction with Mephisto as well, where he can get yoinked all the way back to the position that she is, or at least 600-700 range from his original position. And then for the rest, Mephisto is particularly good against big bodies. That means he's good into D.Va, he's good into Stukov. Maiev is middle-sized. Cassia Tyrande pretty small. So it is not the dream draft for Mephisto, but it's still into double support that tend to group together. I think both teams have a lot of very powerful tools, and as usual, it's going to be execution that will determine who is going to win. It's not always the case. Sometimes draft is very transparent. Sometimes the team's level difference is very transparent. Not so here. So we've got a match, Bahamut.
I agree with you, Grubby. It's and I'm as you were mentioning all the breakdown analysis. We actually have this sudden vengeance from Pitkit as well. And I was remarking yesterday at the mechanical prowess of Pitkit to be able to throw a Spirit of Vengeance, Umbral Bind a bunch of enemy members, get the Vault of the Warden, then proc your Spirit of Vengeance to get away from the entire enemy team while still getting that little bit of pull from Umbral Bind. So maybe I'm undervaluing WildHeart Draft. Maybe I'm overvaluing the aggression of Chili Mountain. Chili Mountain's had some really good games in Season 2 of CCL, especially in the latter half of group stage. This is just an exciting game. The group playoffs are here, and we're seeing some teams be eliminated slowly but surely from Season 2 of HeroesCCL. Weary Day getting dove by Cattle. He's A-okay as there's no wall to be collided with, and both teams sitting about 3 gem difference between the two, but it is going to be 38 to, I think it was like 41 on the side of WildHeart with this mid lane camp pushing in for Chili Mountain, trying to find some pressure. There's going to be a Shadow Charge, a lot of damage onto Azurite. First Blood goes over to the side of WildHeart.
Yeah, that was a lovely combo there. Mayev getting the Umbral Bind on Sylvanas and Yoinking are back. Lunar Flare. It needs some pretty good prediction where the Lunar Flare needs to be put in order to get the Umbral Bind follow-up. It's not something quite as simple as Power Slide into Lunar Flare, which has a very stationary aiming target. So, yeah, just you can see Buds' experience on Tyrande. It's been playing the hero for years, and it must be so much fun for him to be the only one to be bringing her back, pretty much, into the meta. I don't even know if that's going to be meta. I don't think so. I think it works for them.
It works for the WildHeart meta. And that's the meta that they like to play. It's just, it's whatever they decide the meta is going to be. But Cattle puts a little bit of aggression into Unaverted. There's going to be just a back and forth with the Fens, the Shadow Charges, huge Umbral Bind, Vault of the Warden, Pitkit in an awkward spot, uses the Spirit of Vengeance to get away. Zergling comes up on the Diva, mostly here just to kind of put another body in lane and threaten any sort of extra aggression. Nice read from Buds right there once again, with the Sentinel to catch Make in the bush. Still, it's you get a little bit of damage, you get a little extra vision, and it's just a nice win and good reads. Not easy to throw those Sentinels and land that many times into the enemy side, but Umbral Bind will stop Diablo from backing off Make in a really awkward spot because of his Shaded Mephisto origin point, but he's able to float away from the Diva Mecha explosion, and now Burgolt is able just to throw Righteous Hammer into Zergling's face as the bottom lane will be soaked up. But who gets first turn in here, or does the fight continue, Grubby? Jeez.
The fight never ends so long as there are enemies. We are starting to get a glimpse of how WildHeart hopes to abuse Mephisto's position. Oh, he didn't have Umbral Bind anymore? Checking. Yeah, he did have it available. Maybe didn't get the latch on properly. He did do an auto attack. But just, we're starting to see how WildHeart plans to abuse the Mephisto Shade. They've got Weary Day doing his combo, Buds getting the long distance Lunar Flare, and then the Diva Mech also zoning in. That was very nearly a kill if there was a little bit more follow-up. So that is something that WildHeart can do. On the other side, Chili Mountain has been running single support into these fights, brawling 4-on-4, and actually depleting WildHeart's mana and health pool quicker than theirs is being depleted. So respect to Chili Mountain being able to do that with this draft here. Diablo, the very meaty front line in Caterpillar, and then Azurite and Maka unraining all 7 hells on WildHeart. And level 10 pretty much being reached in lockstep, Bahamut.
Almost, and that's really where I feel like we're going to have the big team fight. It's almost time, I feel, because turn-in availability exists on both sides. Both teams building for a back-to-back turn-in. Cattle may be looking just to get the last few gems in. I think it is going to be Chili Mountain trying to push in right now. But when we look at Heroics, Apocalypse, or excuse me, not Apocalypse, the Wailing Arrow is going to be the standard one. We'll see the Lightning Breath for the Diablo, Endurance of Hate, pretty standards across the board. There's Containment Disc, which is, I would say, standard for Pitkit in the playstyle. As we do have a fight breaking out. Ball Lightning comes out from the Cassia, Containment Disc onto Diablo. Diva Mech is boosting around, no Mecha Explosion available. Ardent Defender used by Burgold. Endurance of Hate goes out, but it won't connect onto Unaverted. That's a lot of just kind of posturing or just, you know, like who's got more aggression?
Love that play by Cattle. He actually held his Shadow Charge, making sure that he didn't ruin it into Vault of the Warden. Still was able to stun Maiev into the wall there after that had been used. It's a good play. He uses Lightning Breath, didn't lead to a kill, but pretty good damage being dealt here by Make as well. As Shirel pretty much got what she wanted mid and is now joining for the 5-man push. That's a big Diva explosion position. Azurite manages to disjoint the Umbral Bind with the Haunting Wave, and he gets out of what would have been a very lethal nap.
Sorry. I like the idea of a lethal nap. That was just that caught me very off guard. Bottom lane, Fort Front Gate does go down. Sylvanas is able to lock down the tower. Massive shove from Weary Day once again. This is going to be Mephisto jumping in, getting a lot of good damage. Polymorph onto Zergling as well. Cattle trying to back off, and I think bottom lane Fort is safe.
Black Arrow push, always something that has to be responded to immediately and in great force. WildHeart in the right position there to defend. Chili Mountain is lacking 4 gems for a back-to-back turn-in. WildHeart, they've got the XP, they've got the gems. They don't have the vision or map control right now, as Cattle makes his presence known and is using the Overpower to actually keep my F with him so he doesn't get yoinked. That is a panic disc, which means there might be enough time for Chili to get a few turn-ins, but Zergling is partial to the task of interrupting at least some of those gem turn-ins, and he's going to try to pressure himself in that way as well.
Containment disc is actually, it's like 40 seconds, so it's halfway through that timer. So it is a very small window, as you were saying, and I'm looking at this too. I'm like, all right, who's going to be able to sneak this in? Will it be WildHeart? Will it be Cattle, who just keeps trying to turn in? Or actually, no, he's just playing in the shadows from Diablo. Diva Mech is going to get pushed around. Zergling has Mech Explosion available. Huge Wailing Arrow. That's going to be the kill on the Stukov. We do have that Lightning Breath. Huge Umbral Bind from Maiev. She's trying to make a play. Ball Lightning is going to be able to find the kill into this Sylvanas. It's a 1-for-1. The Mech Explosion goes out, just zones back the enemy team. Diva back in her mech. Containment disc onto Diablo once again. Burgle taking a bit of damage. Umbral Bind is applied, but it won't be able to get the pull. Ardent Defender used, but maybe 100 health was gained off of it. Still keeps Burgle alive.
WildHeart did a great job not putting any damage into Ardent Defender so that the absorption didn't yield any healing. He used it at 550. He walked away maybe with 600. And Unaverted was in hot pursuit to try and kill the Yrel post Ardent Defender. All in all, a pretty even team fight. A great counterattack by WildHeart to get the Sylvanas kill there after a good Wailing Arrow destruction on Stukov. Love the fact that Chili Mountain has opted to go with one of 3 ways to beat double support comps. Getting a big AoE silence, that is the key. The other 2 methods are out-macro them. That's hard on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And then there is the anti-healing debuff. That one is not in their toolkit right now. Pitkit trying to get the combo on Market. Here's Caterpillar to disrupt him. Another containment disc to create space, if anything, as Maka unleashes damage. There's one problem for Chili Mountain so far. They've never been able to hit their Durance of Hate yet. Lutano must be watching this and feeling better by the missed ult.
I was watching the same thing, and I was just like, oh, that's another Durance that just WildHeart sidesteps. It's a very, I wouldn't say it's very telegraphed, but if you're watching Mephisto, and I'm sure that these WildHeart players are, in these team fights, they can see that big wind up with Mephisto as he lines things up, so making sure you're not stacking or grouping up too much is a big factor, as Make, and you were mentioning this earlier, gets pulled by the Umbral Bind, even though they return to their origin point. Unaverted finds 1 Lightning Fury into the tower just to take that down. Webweaver phase has ended. Do we have a turn-in from WildHeart, or is it from Chili Mountain? A lot of good back and forth here in game number 1, Grubby.
Yeah, they're both sitting on a freaking treasure trove here in turn-in availability. Make is the one that manages to pay and deposit his gems into the bank. The Tomb Spider Queen is pleased indeed and will be blessing Chili Mountain with a number of her Arachnithids to help Chili Mountain to get some push on WildHeart's fortifications that are still standing erect at the moment, but that bottom fort not looking too healthy. The question is, will Zergling prioritize mid lane or bottom lane? Perhaps bottom lane is forfeited. He focuses on mid. That also gives him the position to maybe 5v4 top. Yrel isn't here yet. WildHeart is going to try to bring Zergling in for a 5-on-4.
Diva Mech Explosion dunked into the enemy team, but it's a little bit late, finding 0 to no value. That's the same thing, but anyways, Azurite, oh my god, gets sniped by the Stukov. There was the Tyrande Lunar Flare with maybe an auto from Weary Day, not 100%, but still, we do see the Sylvanas go down. It is going to be a double fort phase for the side of Chili Mountain, as their Webweavers will be cleared out through mid and bottom. And as we were mentioning earlier, that bottom lane fort very low. Is there any sort of... Okay, no. Okay. And it's Virulent Reaction. For anyone that doesn't know, Virulent Reaction had its icon color changed. It went from yellow to red. So if anyone's like, what's that level 13 for Stukov? That's Virulent Reaction.
Why?
You know what? One of my viewers was actually pointing this out to me. They were like, there's another talent. There's like another talent's purple, and so there was like no reason to change the color. I don't know. Maybe one day at some event we'll be able to ask one of the developers. Maybe, or you know what? Maybe they're watching right now and they'll be able to add us on Twitter and explain. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think I'll check my Twitter after this. I believe. Chili Mountain right now with double fortification lead. Their forts are very healthy. Somehow they still have so many gems. Where's WildHeart scaling towards? When will they... Like, they've got the kills, but structurally and gem turn-in wise, they are not able to do it at the moment.
D.Va's literally sitting on an entire turn-in right now, and she was getting pushed around a little bit in that bottom lane, but now Burgle's the one getting pushed around. Ardent Defender will be used, and I feel like, Grubby, some of these moments where Ardent Defender's used, WildHeart's fine. I feel like that's WildHeart's game plan in some of these moments is like, we just want to force Ardent Defender and then split. That's a 2-minute cooldown.
Yeah, that's like worth sometimes even more than getting a kill. Of course, that depends really. There's another Lunar Flare follow-up on Burgle. Burgles cannot play nearly as effectively, but you're totally right, Baha. Zergling or some other Yrel have been able to use Ardent sometimes to create space and to basically live for free inside the enemy team, knowing they've got that button. They're using it aggressively, if you will. This was a, oh damn, I'm dying, I have to use it. That's a great way to take down a cooldown. Burgle now angry, coming in with the hammer. We've got Sylvanas in the bottom lane, getting the siege camp.
Big Durance of Hate will be coming out. Lightning Breath from the Diablo will be stopped by the containment disc of the Maiev. Weird Day getting very low. Burgold is going to be able to find the jump, the kill onto Stukov. Ball Lightning bounces from player to player, which gives the counter kill. 1-for-1. Cattle getting low. His souls maybe reset. Definitely reset. Diablo goes down. Zergling. D.Va Mech is getting low. Sylvanas actually haunting waves into the face of the enemy team. Banana getting very low, goes down as well. This is going to be a Web Weaver phase that has push potential with a few members dead. Make, I don't know if you make it out of this one alive, bud, but can you take someone down with you? Oh no, Sylvanas is going to start cleaning up. That's so many gems on the ground. Oh my god, WildHeart kind of losing out a little bit right there. Not kind of, they are losing out on that. Oh! Budge, you're dirty!
That's a PSD support play if I've ever seen one. Holy damn.
Yeah, that's going in for this week, definitely. I'm making a note of that right now.
Did you get my voice in that clip?
Oh,
anyway,
I will.
Fantastic, fantastic defense by Make there. He was in a 2-ish versus 3, got double kill before he went down. But so many cool things happened there. Actually, the reason that Burgold ended up dying after getting a kill on Stukov is because someone, I didn't see who, interrupted the phase shift on Brightwing. Oh. He was going to get the heal. I looked at her cooldown. Sure enough, it was on a 6-second cooldown, down from 10 from when he must have casted it. So that was a great kill on Burgold. WildHeart knowing Ardent Defender isn't up yet, cancel the Brightwing, kill the Yrel. A lot of cool back and forth, way too much to talk about, but what a festival, what a spectacle we've got going here between these two teams. The turn-in of WildHeart had led to some structural damage, and now they're looking for more back-to-back. There's a disc, a containment disc.
Phase shift still comes through from Brightwing. Ardent Defender's used. Grubby, you want to jump into WildHeart comms for this?
Yeah, let's go.
In we go to WildHeart.
Right. Yeah, Mephisto's bot.
And so is mid.
Sure.
If you have any,
I got poly.
Oh,
I
get
can
cattle.
go
Get cattle. Get cattle. I got cattle. I don't have cattle. I shot. I'm staying cattle. I can't wish that. Good damage. Fucking so slow. Play a little slow.
Watch Mephisto out here.
I'm okay. I speed away. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh,
look at Bringer.
good.
Am I here? Get out.
I got you. I think you just kite.
Going in. My hands up.
Okay.
I'm probably dead.
Just get out. I was one too far.
He's one.
Buying a lot of time though. You might just.
He's dead for sure.
Right?
I'm dead for sure.
Yeah. Just trying to get that.
I wonder about easies.
If we can like protect.
things were looking up for the members of WildHeart pushing in with this Webweaver phase, but it just all falls apart in top lane with an engagement underneath Diablo's Lightning Breath and Urel's control as well. WildHeart losing out on that engagement, losing out during the Webweaver phase, and not finding any structural damage anywhere, I think.
Yeah, WildHeart saying watch the Mephisto ult feels to me like... It feels to me like a rat saying, watch that Cobra over there. It's like, okay, I'm watching him. He's striking. Now what do I do?
That is very true, yeah. It's just, but it is nice to. But it's one of those things that like sometimes you get very, I wouldn't say tunnel vision, but focused into the team fight, and it's one of those things that it's just you're not keeping that in mind, and that actually might be one of the players' jobs, just counting cooldowns, being like, all right, I'm counting that Mephisto cooldown anytime I see it, so that way I can tell my team, all right, it's up and available, make sure you're spreading for it. So, but I also do agree with you, like there's a little bit of like, okay, yeah, I mean, of course, watch the Mephisto, we're all grouping up and pushing in, but this Grubby is a Webweaver phase plus boss through top lane. Can Chili Mountain look for keep and go core?
Well, the boss is already looking low. Looks like WildHeart is able to put a really good amount of damage on it. Zergling has to be a little safe. He doesn't have the mech. I don't think they even get a keep here, funny as it seems. We gotta see what Mephisto can do. Can he get a Mimicry Lightning Nova on that keep? If he does, boom, that's more than 20%. But no, he's gotta play safe enough. WildHeart is doing a fantastic defense. Barely even a scratch on the keep against 80% health boss and the Webweaver. It was a big boon to still have top for it. But wait, WildHeart actually, good defense. Chili Mountain sold the idea of rotating mid and then came back in with mostly invisible friends. They wanted more, and this is where they get the most damage on the keep. And I think a very intelligent retreat as well. Or is it?
It's this feigned retreat like they did a second ago. They were like, oh, we're gonna rotate mid now with the Webweaver, and then they double back and go for keep with their black arrows. And they keep doing this. Mephisto though showing in mid lane, so it's all this split pressure because Mephisto, as you mentioned, has that mimicry at level 20, but he also just his siege damage is pretty good with Lightning Nova. There's gonna be a lightning breath. Oh wait. I thought I saw him winding up for the Lightning Breath, but either way, it doesn't matter. Diva Mech Explosion comes out. There's a speed boost from Brightwing onto Cattle, and no one hit by the Diva Mech Explosion, mostly used to zone back the enemy team. As the top lane keep survives, middle as well, both of them roughly 10 to 15%.
Really good defense by WildHeart, but a great job by Chili Mountain as well to continually sell the idea of them leaving and then coming back in. It netted them 80% keeps. That's a big knock-kill! Lightning Breath! Everyone is silenced! Bots is going down! This is a huge upgraded... No, it's not the upgraded ult. It was a Wailing Arrow from Azerite and Mako with the Durant. Massive amounts of damage coming in. This might be the camel that broke the straw's back. I believe it's something like that as they go for the mid-keep. There's a Mimicry, Maka, Nova as well. Zergling trying to run away. He's got to hit his big shot into a number of people in order to actually get the reset, but he can't. A 4-man kill. Chili Mountain suddenly just turned on the pain train. They're trying to get Weary Day as well. It's a full team wipe. Mega kill as Chili Mountain will be winning the first map here in this gauntlet best of 5 against WildHeart.
GG's go over to Chili Mountain as they take down the core of WildHeart in game number 1 on Tomb of the Spider Queen, this is WildHeart's best map. WildHeart chose this map and lost on it. What does this mean for our series? Well, it's telling that Chili Mountain has done their research and Chili Mountain aren't going to be flustered or even upset at these awkward or weird drafts that they have to kind of figure out as the game goes along. Extremely well played and controlled by Chili Mountain, and I think that's the biggest thing, in my opinion, from Chili Mountain as the season has progressed. They've gone from, I wouldn't say playing chaotically, but they've just really honed their synergy as a team, and I think this game shows that. That last engagement, everyone was where they needed to be on Chili Mountain to shut down all of WildHeart. Beautiful play, beautiful wombo. I want to rewatch that one a little bit later. Maybe it's our PSD support play of the day, but we got Crow on the line. I want to talk to you, my friend. What are your thoughts on that Tomb of the Spider Queen, game number 1?
Yeah, I think that game was definitely, honestly, in my opinion, a draft difference, and I'm going to highlight why. Chili Mountain actually played, I think, a lot of that game not very well, to be honest. A lot of times pre-10, Chili Mountain was engaging on a Maiev, and they don't have a lot of kill secure pressure pre-level 10. They have Mephisto and Sylvanas, which are decent damage dealers, but it's not like they're going super far in to try to secure kills. When actually Sylvanas tried to do that, they got punished a couple of times for it. But Chili Mountain, I think as well, they just had WildHeart in a position where they were able to, chain turn-ins and then be able to just get map pressure that WildHeart was not able to respond to because their draft had no pressure. Even when they engaged on Diablo multiple times, it was just, okay, we're either going to survive this or we're going to turn it back around you. And it was really that beautiful final team fight where Chili Mountain was heading back, trying to turn in, and then it must have been like Cattle or somebody else, I'm not quite sure, being like, hey, watch this because they're going to try to stop us and we're going to turn. So they were all already on the same page. You knew that because as soon as Diablo Gauge came through, so the Mephisto ult, so the Sylvanas Silence, they were all right there. That was just a beautiful last team fight. So some redemption for Chili Mountain. Beautiful fight. And I don't think that the WildHeart drafts that they're coming into today prepped with are really going to work out for them. So I'm worried about their willingness to deviate away from that to try to come back with something new.
It's WildHeart. They're innovators. I'm sure they're not going to sit there and bang their heads against the wall trying to play the same draft over and over again. I wouldn't say that draft got shut down super hard, Grubby, but it just didn't have the momentum in the late game that I kind of expected. That top lane keep where WildHeart got shut down and then it all kind of spiraled out of control, I think that was a great example, in my opinion, of what WildHeart couldn't do, which was team fight into the control of Chili Mountain. What are your thoughts on this, though?
Yeah, I think both, Chili Mountain didn't play the strongest level 10 ults sometimes, but they turned it on when it mattered. They have that level 20 power spike. I think that's the big one, right? Where Mephisto just pops off big time. And all they need is to get one Durance and one Wailing, and then it's just wiping time. And WildHeart doesn't really have any tool in their kit to stop that when it happens. All they can say is be careful of that ult. Let's hope it misses. And when it misses, then they can get a bunch of kills. So in a way, it wasn't 100% up to them, but they did really good with the tools that they had. And that has been enough for some of the teams that they have faced for teams just not to play good enough. And then they make it with their vision play, with their weird draft and so on. So I wouldn't write either their draft or their team off. I think Chili Mountain did one fantastic fight. And as we all know in Heroes of the Storm, at level 20, one fantastic fight can just end the game immediately, as it should.
Oh, that's very well put from both of you. I think we have our map ready to go, and we can find out where we're going to for map number 2 in our first best of 5 of the day. This is going to be the map choice of Chili Mountain, as WildHeart, the losing team, has opted in for first pick priority. Some stats for everyone at home. WildHeart is 3-5 on this map, and Chili Mountain is currently sitting at 4-2. So this is probably the reason we're seeing Chili Mountain take us here. I feel like there's going to be a lot of, this is very clear data, but I'm sure we're going to see a lot of these, hey, we've won on this map a lot. We feel comfortable here. We practice a lot. We have the rotations down. We've got a few drafts in our playbook ready to go for Infernal Shrines. So I like the way that both these teams are playing, starting out on comfort maps when they have the choice of where to go in the battlegrounds. Crowan, I want to get your thoughts on this as well as a professional player. Has this been something that you've done for your team as well, or any teams you've been on, where it's like, all right, where we're up, let's keep going to places where we've succeeded in the past? Is it kind of just setting yourself up for more success in a sense?
Yeah, definitely. Teams are going to have their comfort maps. It's inevitability in every single Heroes of the Storm team. Yet, while you have your comfort maps as well, you have your maps that you're not so good on. Personally, a big map that I hated, and a lot of my team actually, for multiple teams, hated was Sky Temple. It's not a good map for us, but we take other maps like towers or whatnot, and just do beautiful on it, and you're practiced, right? It's going to be your comfort because you just have drafts on that map that works. And I think for Chili Mountain, they're going to be able to bring these prepared drafts that they're going to be just comfortable running. And we'll see what exactly that is. I think, there's been some trends throughout the season, but it's also playoffs time. So maybe you want to mix it up or just make these small improvements, especially when you are going to tailor them to specific matchups, say like WildHeart. Now, I think the bans are going to be pretty similar. Hogger is going to be a hero that was banned out a lot by both these teams, but was not picked or banned, I believe, unless I missed it in the second ban phase last game, but I don't think it was picked or banned at all. Very interesting. I mean, Hoggers, this is a wonderful Hogger map, so
Yeah.
really WildHeart's gonna... oh no, Mephisto
Ooh.
ban. I like that ban. I think Make, well, maybe they were trolling a little bit of the early game ultimates, hit them in the late game when it mattered, and that was the impact that they needed. But is Hogger gonna be up again?
Junkrat to be the band out now. This is a great Mephisto map. This is a great Junkrat map. It's good for all these heroes. Stitches, I mean, hooks can be blocked by skeletal defenders and stuff, but that's not the only time you're team fighting. So I like the respect from WildHeart getting rid of that, but WildHeart does have first pick here. What are you expecting from WildHeart team here, Grubby? Do they innovate again? Ooh.
It looks like there has been a unwritten rule of no Hogger picks. If you constantly ban it out because you've struggled against it, you end up not practicing it. And then when two of these teams meet each other, it transforms the meta and shifts the priority. Both teams seem to be accepting that neither will take it. Even though this is an amazing map for Hogger, it outlines how even in some of the best teams we have, and these teams are top 6 by the CCL standards, there are weaknesses like that where you cannot capitalize on the Hogger pick on Infernal Shrines despite it being open and good. These are the weaknesses you have when you think of all the practice that teams are putting into the heroes that they do practice. Apparently, there's a limited amount of time to practice others. And even the personality of some players and the skill set and the talent of some players is not going to be equally spread across all the heroes that could possibly exist and be good for certain situations. And I think that just speaks to how much time it costs to train and practice on heroes with your team as well. So that's totally fine. There's not going to be any Hoggers. We most likely won't be seeing any picks or bans. It's going to be the Urel, which Circling is amazing on. The tried and true Tychus Diablo for this map from Chili Mountain's side.
Urel is 8-5 for WildHeart as they played it 13 times in the group stage so far, as well as maybe a couple games yesterday. So good play so far. I like the respect from Chili Mountain. They watched that game. They watched those games yesterday where WildHeart was running it around, not even running it down. They're running around and dying and killing. But no, the garage play was really, really fun yesterday. I think it was a win and a loss, right, Grubby?
I believe so. Yeah, one decimate victory.
Yes. And then there was
the second one they lost.
Yeah, because they didn't have it was a different healer setup. I think it was like that was the Tyrande without the Karazim or something, so they didn't have the dashing touches and such. But either way, we're into Infernal Shrines, Tychus and Diablo. I want to get your thoughts, Carlin, because we've gone through a ban phase and we're getting through a little bit more of this draft.
Okay, yeah, I was curious as to see what Chili Mountain followed this up with. They are going to leave their support for last pick, picking the offlane Liarg and Falstad. So once again, no Hogger. I actually thought the Hogger would come out for them, because I believe Chili Mountain have played it a couple of times. But the global with the Falstad, to be able to match Brightwing global on this map, not really super, I guess, like, valuable there, but it can definitely get some. I'm curious as well what WildHeart does end up going, and it's going to once again be a non-traditional tank, Maiev for Pit Kid and Karazim for the double support. They're landing on this style of draft, but this time it's not a Tyrande, so I actually like it a lot better. I think that Karazim is the tool that they need to be able to deal with the Diablo frontline tank. Romi's going to pump out a lot of consistent damage, actually be able to land that damage opposed to Cassia not being able to really step forward because of all the threat that happened in the last game. But this time, Urel for the displacement for WildHeart I think makes that job a lot easier. Alexstrasza being the last pick for Chili Mountain, I mean, that's a fantastic Infernal Shrines pick. You dragging up, and it's hard to really push into that team. Chili Mountain's going to look to play objectives to win them. They have fantastic tools between Alexstrasza and Tychus Odin to secure it. It's just what can WildHeart get on the rest of the map is the question. And they are a good macro team, but looking at this comp, it doesn't really split push. It wants to fight, but I don't know if he'll be able to stack up the Chili Mountain. I'm going to give this draft once again advantage a little bit over to Chili Mountain. Maybe a bit closer than last time around, but I like what Chili Mountain's setting up here.
I like the Chili Mountain draft a lot. I'm kind of struggling a little bit to want to like the WildHeart draft, if that makes sense. Like, nothing against them, just I wasn't really impressed with that last game. I know there were some shining moments for WildHeart, and I don't want to overcast those, but it's just I'm not the biggest fan of this draft. I feel like it's just lacking. It just doesn't feel like it has all the pieces it needs. Like, I can't put my exact thoughts. Like, I can't put a nail into what it's lacking. Like, I wish maybe it had just a bigger. Oh, please, Grubby, save me.
There's no ranged auto attacker to punish Leoric and Diablo. like they're gonna be living pretty freely, especially when they're together.
So the Chromie is like, that's where the Chromie, I was like, maybe Chromie kind of fits that. I don't know. Let's watch this game. Crow, and thank you for your breakdown analysis. Let's get into the Chili Mountain versus WildHeart game, and let's see what actually happens here. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but I'm going to vote for Chili Mountain as we've got them here on our screen. Make on the Falstad, Azerite on the Tychus, Burgult on Leoric, Banana on the Alexstrasza, and Cattle on the Diablo. Over in the red, we've got the members of WildHeart, Zergling on the Urel, Buds on the Karazim, Unaverted playing Chromie, Weary Day on the Brightwing, and Pit Kid on Maev. I've given my thoughts here, but I want to hear yours, Grubby, because I'm sure you've got a better breakdown.
I mean, anytime I see, I think you've portrayed it well, but anytime I see a frontline Diablo Leoric into a team without a good auto attack there, and I'm not talking about Chromie or Brightwing. Get out of here. I mean, they got damage, but it's neither percentage damage nor sustained in any big way. You've got Karazim. Where's the finisher? When Diablo turns on Soul Shield, 7-sided strike comes in. All right, you drop him to half-life. A few Chromie combos. He's 20%. But he's got Soul Shield, he's got healing from his Fire Stomp. Who's going to finish him? Is Maev going to go deep and click him while Falstad and Tychus are wailing away on her? I don't think so. Maybe Urel. And that's where I see the problem. I think Leo and Diablo will be able to create a lot of space, which would be fine if WildHeart had the better objective-focused fight. But they really don't. They don't have that much AoE damage. We've got an Avenging Wrath Urel jump. We've got a Dragon Breath from Chromie. Maybe Piercing Sands at 18 if he's feeling frisky with that. And Maev's Fan of Knives. We have an Arcane Flare from Brightwing. No, if WildHeart wants to win this game, it's going to be completely in the miniature of the game. Little pick off there. Surprising rotation here. And pressure in lanes where it is least expected. It's going to be a yoink on an Alex that then propels themselves into something else. That's how WildHeart wins this game.
They're trying that gank attempt, you know, into top lane. As I was watching on the minimap as you were explaining this so thoroughly, and it was well read by Chili Mountain. They kind of saw the rotation. Banana had a really good actual just extra rotation around that shrine through top just to be able to disengage further. It's just really good reads coming out from Chili Mountain so far. There was the camp invade from the side of WildHeart, but I don't think Chili Mountain cared. They rotated a few members up to top and put some pressure onto that fort front gate. Well, this won't be the first objective. The first objective being Arcane in the mid lane, you are prepping for later phases into that game. A little bit of pre-siege here and there on the side of Chili Mountain or even WildHeart into a gate could yield your Punisher getting a lot more value and setting your team up for a kill or two here and there. This is going to be the time troubles from the Chromie reducing armor for enemy members hit with that time stop. The other thing to note, though, too, is going to be just a few nice talents. Master Assassin!
Master Assassin, more attack speed for Tychus in Odin or base form. More so if he gets 15 kills, which I think we've gotten once in CCL.
Last week, I was actually watching back the VOD a little bit ago, and chat was just like, is Bahamut really this excited about Master Assassin being completed? And yes, chat, yes, I was. It's 15 kills.
It's a little mini game. It's a little mini game for us. Humor us as this is not the reason why people pick it, but it's fun to see if it is completed. But let's see. WildHeart is, you know, I should point out, by the way, if a pro team goes Murky, Probius, Karazim, and Ario, something weird, you'll still see relative equality at this time. You can still have a zero-death game. This is the calm before the storm. The macro fundamental mechanics of teams are good enough that you can control lanes and XP and so on well enough. It's really going to go down at level 10. That's where we'll see the quality of the team fight. Whether we are right to count out WildHeart almost in terms of team fights. Even though there's an Alexstrasza here that might be an underdog. But this is her map, Dragon Queen. And what I presume will be Lifebinder to help with the 7-sided blow-up is going to be a very powerful tool. Now, Chili Mountain is not at all feeding into the objective all too much. This first objective, which by the way is a Watt Punisher and Arcane, not the biggest of deals. They're pushing on the side. Diablo goes down, XP looking good though for Chili. They give up that objective. They've got half the bottom wall.
A little bit of siege through top lane as well with the Alexstrasza. For anyone who's looking at the Alexstrasza as well, I want to note this for you. If you're just not... Oh, Azerite Okay, the phase shift comes through, but Burgold actually jumps in on this Leoric, trying to auto-attack his way into Weary Day and Pit Kid. Good sustained damage from Make. The one thing, Alexstrasza doesn't get her healing circle on the top lane. But I wanted to note really quickly, the Life Blossom. There's going to be that little kind of green icon next to Alexstrasza. While she's above 75% HP, Gift of Life creates a Life Blossom at the target location. Alexstrasza can collect it and make the next one make her Gift of Life cost no health for her. So nice utilization right there, so long as she's above 75. But also there's a passive reduce the cost of Gift of Life to 10% of Alexstrasza's current health. It's a little bit of buff right there onto that one for anyone wondering. But Diablo getting shredded by the Punisher. Alexstrasza not here in time as Make gets punched quite a bit. Maybe I misread, or maybe this is just a little too much aggression early game as Buds is going to live somehow, some way. Tychus goes down, Falstad goes down, and WildHeart are just ripping apart Chili Mountain. They brought hairdryers to this game.
What?
They brought hairdryers. They're melting the ice. You never used a
Okay. Cool. Yeah. We do that all the time in the Netherlands. That can get really cold. We bring hair dryers places.
Yeah.
That's how. Yeah. That's. I still remember when I was young. But anyway, WildHeart. This is how they win, though. They managed to get a freely given objective, and they use their far reach with Maiev, Yarel, and Karazin to get kills that normally would seem out of reach. Sudden Vengeance, Maiev, level 4 talent, 6% max health when the spirit explodes. He went deep on Diablo. Karazin followed up. Buds, by the way, walked away with 122 HP. In comes Yarel from the flank, finishes up the stragglers. WildHeart has a few very important kills. They are 6 against 0 in kills, but I don't think that changes away the fact that Chili Mountain still has probably a better level 10, better level 20. So this is, I would say this is expected and needed for WildHeart if they want to be on par. They need to not get overconfident and remember that it's not friendly to them if it gets to level 20. At least I think so. So far they are riding that advantage and they are pushing top forward, even as their own bottom forward gets pushed. WildHeart has the more important one because the next objective is top.
Yep. If WildHeart gets the next objective top 2, because now we're talking about an objective phase that will be 10 talents here, 7-sided strike onto Leoric. He's trying to back off right now. Wraithwalk is available. He's going to do... Oh, he's actually A-okay. Burgold gets out. Fine. No big deal. Make just trying to get one hammering onto this fort through bottom lane. The fort in bottom lane, 122 HP. Did Make overstay? Has to use Gust. Gonna use Flight. Righteous Hammer. Yeah, bye. Doesn't even get the fort still.
I don't know if he had Power Roll available before he decided to fly, but there was a Righteous Hammer available once again. I think it's a really short cooldown. What is it? 6 seconds. He can charge it with Divine Purpose, which is 8 seconds. Clearly, he had it again. Nice attempt by Make to get away there on Falstad. WildHeart was partial to getting that kill, and they managed to do it. You're sitting on a nice lead. So far, oh my god, we got a lot of monsters that can fight really well over the objective in Odin and Alexstrasza Dragon Queen. It's not really been working out yet.
No.
WildHeart has nipped it in the buds every time before they were able to get even close to the objective. We haven't even seen a single Dragon Queen yet.
Maybe WildHeart was watching my analysis and was just like, okay, Bahamut, we'll keep smashing our head into the wall and show you how this works. And it apparently is working for now. We'll have to see how this next objective phase goes, but there is going to be that talent tier deficit in favor for the side of WildHeart. Ooh, wait, hold on. 7-sided strike, Burgold. Just gonna get punched. And he's able to Wraithwalk away. I'm a little blown away, Grubby, because maybe it's the...
I don't feel like it should be working.
Right, and like, is it the map? Is it game 1 to game 2? Is it the difference in draft a little bit with no Mephisto here? I don't know. But anyways, the game's not over by any means. We're getting into our second Punisher. It's Mortar. But this is threatening on to keep front gate in favor of WildHeart.
At the end of the day, I feel like they're playing around Alexstrasza really well. Alex, like Whitemane and Morales and Rhaegar, suffers from not having reliable CC. Her strength is Dragon Queen and had not been used until now. There's the first Dragon Queen. Yeah, they're strong now. Odin, Dragon Queen, and so on and so forth. but she doesn't have CC to help in the nitty-gritty of the game. In the CC pickoffs, she has looked weak when they're being hunted down, and WildHeart has done a really, really good job of that. They've just got another fort and a keep wall. Chili Mountain looking for a bit of revenge, but there is no Entomb anymore. This could be the big power play. Falstad there in position to get a big gust.
Not even
actually, the
having it.
polymorph was so good to stop the big gust. This could still be it. Marka.
30.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have gust.
He
Never mind.
used it super early during the Punisher fight to push back the enemy team to stop any
So why did he
damage.
fly in?
I
He wanted to get stragglers.
I don't know, because they're like, it's not like Brightwing was like super low. It seemed very, very hungering from Chili Mountain to try and just get some kill momentum in their favor, as it's 0 to 7 in kills. Maybe it's just that, just trying to catch the enemy team as they're rotating away. Big thing to note too is Pacify now at level 13 for the Alexstrasza. So if you see any enemy member models shrinking to about 50%, that's because of that Pacify, which is going to be reducing their damage by 50%. So nice talent right there. But the unfortunate thing, it's just the experience deficit. It's always in favor for WildHeart. About a level and some change lead, as it's 16 to 14 in levels. The Orc trying to grab fort in top lane. Is he overextending? No, excuse me.
WildHeart needs to respond in kind to get bottom fort. Just the sheer distance and the inevitability of that fort dying means you've got to go pound for pound, and WildHeart to do the same thing bot lane, and they do, and they have. They're still up a fort and 1.7 level, make no mistake. Alexstrasza is trying to navigate back home and very wisely decides that mid is not a hospitable place for her to rotate via. As WildHeart continues to ramp on the pressure and uses what residual talent advantage that they still have. Berghold, for his part, starts to open up top a bit.
Alexstrasza Cleansing Flame 5 seconds off. This mid lane push still happening for WildHeart. Little pre-siege, as the next Punisher will be mid lane, will be frozen, and we still have the push from the Orc in the top lane, trying to close that experience gap. Also, Tychus doing the same thing in bottom lane, trying just to get that 16 talent tier as quickly as possible so they can continue on the side of Chili Mountain to be able to defend this mid lane keep that WildHeart is trying to burn down. Buds, A-okay right now. This is just going to be pressure in from the side of Chili Mountain. Leoric is Hearth back, Tychus is here, but there's no chase to be had.
Yeah, he starts minigunning Chromie, but immediately there's Buds with the Radiant Dash that gives the Quicksilver and the Cleanse if anything happens, and he's fine. WildHeart goes back, and I think they got really good value. It requires good discipline to both ramp on the pressure, but also to go back before it's too late. Keep it at 60%, Punisher is mid. There's a lot of implied potential value for WildHeart, but for the first time this game, Chili Mountain shows up at an objective. Not late and not dead, and they can use all their power tools. Will they use it in time while Kano is still alive? Looks like yes. Here's Odin, there's Dragon Queen.
Lightning Breath.
This should be a monstrous Pacific Rim power of monsters as Chili Mountain starts to make their presence known. Did they use everything a little bit too early? I don't know. The fight goes on, Bahamut.
Big red button. Excuse me, there's going to be the Cleansing Flame from Alexstrasza and then Entomb from the Leoric. A lot of members stuck inside of that on the side of WildHeart, but they're A-okay. The healing is just way too good. Oh my god, does Bergold almost go down? But the same can be said about Pit Kid. Ardent Defender used by Zergling as the objective phase is looking like it's being won over by Chili Mountain. The team fight is strong from the side of WildHeart, but the Shrine clear is better on the side of Chili Mountain when they show up, like you said, Grubby. And so, there's a little bit of split in the top lane from Leoric. Okay, he's going to push in with the camp. Falstad going to be joining in for more pressure through mid lane. Gust availability in 28 seconds. Oh, wait, hold on. Zergling already used Ardent Defender, but they're able to back away.
Nice cleansing touch from Buds there. This is a frozen Punisher. Cleansing touch will be very important. He himself enjoys no such protection from cleansing touch. It's not like Lucio's high five. The Punisher marches on. Chili Mountain steps up. Are they serious about this? Will they keep pressuring? They're very heroic ability teamfight focused. I think they got what they wanted once, which is an objective fight. They won it as the stars foretold would. And now I think you just play it chill and go for the next heroic fight. Whereas from WildHeart's perspective, they finally got to experience, as they knew they would at some point maybe, the power of Alexstrasza, Diablo, and Tychus on an actual front-to-back 5-on-5 Shrine fight. They would love to avoid such a situation. That means they need to create opportunity in the here and now until somewhere in the next 80 seconds. This is WildHeart's moment. The next 80 seconds, as they lead into level 20, they've got to get a keep or a kill at least.
Maka is trying to close that experience gap, build up that frequent flyer stack at level 1 already at 32. Unfortunately, no stacks on the Master Assassin, but that doesn't matter. We don't have to talk about that. We'll just bring it up periodically. We do have 46 stacks and rising on the Mithril Mace for this, for the Leoric. We do have the Souls set ready to go for Cattle on the Diablo, and I believe that's all the quest and talents we have. But as you mentioned, Grubby, it's going to be that 20 talents here for WildHeart. What do they do with this? I'm looking at a setup that's maybe going to try and catch Chili Mountain, or is WildHeart just going to go to mid lane and try and take down a keep? Seems like it's actually going to be go mid.
Yeah, there's an Invis URL from Invisible Friends. This is a keep that's deserved, and that is totally within, that's your right, your birthright. WildHeart has built up to definitely get that, and it has to be given over by Chili without any contest. This is correct. Burkhold trying to avoid the wall vision and go away. He does not have Ominous Wraith, so his travel distance with Haunting Wave isn't actually that good, but he manages to evade detection with a good Hearthstone back as Chili Mountain just relaxes and wants to set up for that final objective. Gonna take a quick scan to see which camps are up. 15 seconds on the Chili Mountain Bruiser camp, 22 on the WildHeart Bruiser camp. Khazra are 1:30, 1 minute, and 1 minute and 10 respectively. So we'll be looking at Bruisers in top lane if teams don't make a creative engage happen somewhere.
It also will be next Punisher in top lane, being an Arcane Punisher. There's an engage onto Pit Kid. He's going to use the Vault of the Warden. Buds comes in with a Cleansing Dash or 2. Phase Shift from Brightwing arrives as well. Bud's getting very low. Yrel jumps in, has the Ardent Defender up and available. Tychus working on a camp on the left-hand side. This is a very split engagement from the side of Chili Mountain. Cattle's zoning, making it look like they want a team fight, but now the fight might be over this camp. Yrel, Ardent Defender is going to, not Ardent Defender, Righteous Hammer is going to bop Diablo around. Burgold coming in, does have the, actually no Buried Alive from the Leoric. I was just expecting to see it, but it's going to be the Burning Despair for the PvP factor. Wind Tunnel for the Falstad. Pretty standard on our heroics, or excuse me, our 20s on Ruby Wings for the Alexstrasza. Hellgate for that Diablo. But here we go, maybe an engagement? Nope. Just a Shadow Charge with Cattle taking a lot of damage. Big Wind Tunnel from the Falstad. Burgold getting very low. Buds trying to dive into this. Alexstrasza pops the Dragon Queen form. Huge Lightning Breath from Diablo. Can he get the kill? Kinda, sorta, not really. He goes down, but Buds on the right goes down to Falstad as well as Pit Kid. It's a lot of kills. You really want that camp, Azurite? That's a lot of. They really, really wanted that camp, huh? They really wanted that camp.
Yeah, he keeps moving in it. He keeps believing in the Alexstrasza, moving with 550 health onto the camp. A camp that will always be defended by the team that wins the spoils there. But here's Banana Age. That's the story. Dragon Queen comes in, circling. Where's his next Seraphim? He needs it. Weary Day with the phase shift. He'll circling something fierce as Maka is in hot pursuit. We are looking at a 3v3. Leoric coming back quickly. Kano came back already. The fight went in favor of WildHeart, but the trait for Diablo and Leoric means that they will be able to reap the rewards of this. There's a tomb, there's a draining hope, that's a lot of burning rage damage. The Shadow Charge into the wall. There was a cleanse from Weary Day, but it's not enough as Chili Mountain ends up cleaning up in the top lane, and now they need to make a decision. Do we get the keep, then get the objective, or do we deny the Bruiser, defend, stabilize top lane, maybe even that bottom lane, and make sure at the very least we guarantee ourselves that objective, because there isn't actually much time until Chromie is back.
42 seconds on her. Azurite makes it to core, throws the grenade throws the grenade out to knock back one of the catapults. There's actually retarget onto him. Liking that start out or just liking that little play right there so he can just quickly move back towards that top lane, grab the experience up there. It is equal talents, 20 to 20, 3 to 10 in kills. Actually, we're pretty close, actually 21 to 22 in our levels, and Leoric should be able to grab objective, but is WildHeart are they gonna try and end through mid, or are they selling the idea that they're trying to end through mid?
They're gonna make sure to pressure a bit here. They still have one, maybe they will. Like, you know, Burgold is still there. It's actually gonna get 39 by Chili Mountain, as they're up against 6 Khazra and a catapult. They want to respect this.
Okay.
Burgold's actually staying. He does an option of Hearthstone as Chili Mountain is trying to figure out if they can deal with this threat head on without Leoric being here. Do you want to pop into Chili Mountain's comms?
Let's go into Chili Mountain.
Fight though. Don't take the fight though.
Oh, not taking fight. I'm hitting this guy a bit. This one is clear. Yeah, we chill a bit.
I'm walking.
Now we just push them out though.
They might hold us from the shrine. We don't have Odin anymore after. So they
I
might
have
push
ball.
around. Be ready here. Yeah.
Chill a bit, chill a bit. I'm not with you right now.
I
I'm
can
gonna
take
gust there.
I'm taking
Look Ural, he's kinda alone, He might have to force out there. He ulted, you're ulted down,
Can I say
Yeah,
with
yeah.
one is
Can I
I'm
say
killing
this
the
one?
back.
Yeah, I'm with you. Can we take Crab Shrine now actually?
Yeah, I think so.
Heal up.
I'm
we
in a
can
rel
try.
over here.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Be careful now, careful.
Yeah,
We should just
going
make
here.
it.
Fine.
Still have
Kill
Bayon.
Shrine. Yep.
Care for some
I do too.
stupid shit again though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. There. No, I'm gonna say mid. I've got in 20. Just cap it.
They're gonna raise.
Yeah, cap it and we fight for this. I've got in 20. Yeah. We keep them here. 2 here. They're probably gonna back. If we can keep them here, it's ending.
Yeah.
We missed
Yeah.
everything. We missed
Yeah,
all the spells.
they're all here. Just defend core. I've got in 10. I wanna keep them here. Yeah. Just keep them here. Don't fight it. Don't fight. I don't. No, you're not. No, you're not. Look here.
I have big damage.
Yeah, look here. You're still here. I'm on Ural. I fly.
I have.
I have her,
Okay.
I have her.
Yeah, I'm flying. Look. Chrome me.
Just pile
I'm
on
surviving. It's
Okay.
fine. Kill
We're
Chrome.
sitting on the corner.
I'll run in.
And then on Punisher. Yeah, I'm on the Miami. Yeah. Can we look at Punisher now?
Then
Go game. Go.
15 volt.
They're gonna hit it a bit, but
We have Odin. Like we have Odin.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no way. Like just pop it and we go.
60 blood dragon.
Don't make them defend though. Like.
yeah.
Over.
I have big damage on core by the way, so attack. Carry a bit cattle, no
I'm
ghost.
fine, I have bolt.
Tank it with it. Nice. I'm on the
He
Miami.
does no damage.
Yeah, I'm on my head. I'm on core.
As we come out of those comms, Grubby, it was hard for me to want to
Sick.
leave, but this core is looking like it is going to be frozen and shut down by the side of Chili Mountain. Well played. A back and forth that was beautiful between both teams. An exciting game number 2, Grubby, as we see Chili Mountain have the advantage in this best of 5 series. What were your thoughts, or just how are you feeling after getting out of those comms?
I want to get some stats from you when you have a chance. How many Alex Strasza wins we have seen so far in CCL, maybe after the break. I bet you don't have that currently on lockdown, but that is an Alex Strasza victory. Finally, with one objective focus fight by Chili Mountain, and then the defense of the core. WildHeart here recognizing they can never win a normal objective fight anymore, and if they contest top and lose the fight and lose the objective, it's GG instantly. They decided to do the only option available to them. Pressure in front of an open keep. If they can get a kill, they get to march onto core immediately without any of the hassle of actually traveling over to the core. Fight in a relevant location that gives you a win condition. It was always going to be down to Chili Mountain to not give them that fight, not give them the kills. Well, in this case, Chili Mountain managed to do that.
It was a good game, and to answer your question, Grubby, that is the third Alex Strasza game, second win for Alex Strasza. The other one played was by 30k, I believe. So either way, or it might actually, I'll have to double check on that one. Anyways, it was a very, very good series so far. Crowan, I want to get your thoughts on that game. Were you blue shocked face by the end, or you're sitting there like, oh, cool. My bet is very good in Twitch chat.
Didn't Twitch chat bet. Maybe I should in some subsequent games. But that game, the fact that it wasn't over after what happened at 5 minutes is a real testament to Chili Mountain's persistence in that game. Because what happened, right? The Chili Mountain's goal is to scale to level 10s with minimal losses, but they lost 2 very pointless early kills. They lost XP because they had to over-rotate to deal with the first objective phase from WildHeart, and they still died. They died like 4 deaths, and they lost the fort. Like that, usually in Heroes of the Storm games at a high level, like the game's just kind of over there. They take talent leads, and they just run with it. But Chili Mountain did a really good job of not losing Sokic. Lyric was aggressively pushing a lot of lanes, didn't really get punished for it that much, but they still really couldn't play the game for like 7 minutes. It wasn't until the 12-minute mark where they were in even talent tier 16-16s where they won their first objective phase, because that's what their comp is crafted to do. They win objectives and they push with it, and that's how they end. But WildHeart did a great job at recognizing we never want to let Chili Mountain fight off objectives. That's why they're invading the Bruisers, that's why they were pushing down mid, and it really just was them trying to push Chili Mountain in an uncomfortable spot. But Chili Mountain still were just like, alright, we're going to pop ults and win the fight. They were able to do that. They had already the 39 Punisher prepped, ran down top, and won the game for that. Chili Mountain had a very, very impressive comeback after a disastrous early game.
It is looking really good for Chili Mountain here, and we're not done just yet with this best of 5 series in our knockout playoff gauntlet bracket extraordinaire. We'll be back in a little bit with that next game. We're going to take a short little break, stretch our legs, get a new glass of water, and we'll be back to see if the members of Chili Mountain can shut down WildHeart in a 3-0 fashion, or does WildHeart start to bring it back and maybe a reverse sweep happens. In this break, I want to encourage you to hit ! prize pool so you can check out the prize pool in general, as I believe we've hit a new milestone. We're at $14,031. So when we come back from the break, I'll have the good boy on stream for you all. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom in just a few. Welcome back to HeroesCCL presented by Wisdom. I'm still Bahamut, still joined by Grubby and Crowan, but we got to get a special guest on right now because I can see that prize pool is hit over $14,000, and we're not scammers here at HeroesCCL. If we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. So I got the treat right here. Let me see if I can get him to jump up because it is extremely hot in here. Come here, bud. Come say hi to stream. Come say hi to everyone. Oh, look at that. High five instantaneously. Can I get another high five? Good boy. All right, you can take it. Take your treat. Good boy. Good bandit. Thank you. Thank you, everyone at home, for supporting HeroesCCL. So 1, we have a bigger prize pool for these players. And 2, we can bring our dogs on stream for you all at home. It's just exciting. It's exciting to have this prize pool hit such a milestone, in my opinion. I actually need to go back and look and see at what point we were when we were in the gauntlet last season and just kind of compare the prize pools. But I feel like we might be breaking some records here. As a reminder, Texas CPA, one of the viewers, has put a challenge to the community. If we hit $14,500, he is going to put in $500, so we will hit $15,000. So I just saw that the prize pool just went up again. Thank you for your support. Thank you for believing in HeroesCCL, supporting the grassroots scene, and as well supporting this amazing event. ! prize pool will get you over there if you'd like to donate on the Matcherino page. But we've talked about prize pool, we talked about puppies. Grubby, let's talk about where we're going to for map number 3. Where is it going to be?
Sky Temple. It's going to be the 3rd map between Chili Mountain and WildHeart. It's where WildHeart will be seeking their redemption, but it's Chili Mountain's map choice, which means we're going to be having first pick for WildHeart. Maybe they'll be looking to get their Blaze that has been seeing them have so much success, if they're allowed to have it, or perhaps another solo laner like Yarel that they still have a really good record with, like you said.
This is a hard map here for the side of WildHeart. They're going up against Chili Mountain, Crowan, on Chili Mountain's best map. Chili Mountain is 3-0 on this map. WildHeart 2-1. It's also you've also got that hill to climb on top of. This is your game 3. This is do or die. This is CCL Season 2 life on the line.
Yeah, I'm not even putting that much weight, honestly, into the maps anymore. It's basically just Chili Mountain have done their homework, and it feels like their draft philosophy can be kind of inputted into whatever map we go. I think Sky Temple is no different. The Diablo drafts, I think, in banning Garrosh and Blaze are absolutely beautiful, and the double support Maiev tank from WildHeart, I mean, you can say what you will about the innovation, the potential of that draft, but it is just not working out, right? Chili Mountain just has their numbers, so I really, really think that this is the time where WildHeart has to switch things up, and they clearly have things in their arsenal. They're a flexible team, and so they're able to pull out such different things, so it needs to be right now, because the way that it's going, obviously, Chili Mountain, even if they have a terrible early game, like what happened last game on Infernal Shrines, they still just scale up and their composition just outfights WildHeart in the end game.
It's been a tough battle for the side of WildHeart here, and we'll see if this draft is going to be any different. I want to get your thoughts as well, Grubby, as we get ready for Sky Temple Map 3.
I think Chili Mountain is considering whether they will remove Urel, Brightwing, or Junkrat. That's what I would imagine for them to be removing here. We could see some solo range damage unaverted Junkrat that has been very strong in basically pacifying engage attempts. Chili Mountain is thinking about it long and hard. Hager not looking at it at all. It is going to be that Junkrat ban once again. WildHeart, they get their priority pick. What is it going to be?
Hager? Not banned once again, but I was just thinking about this in the break a little bit. I wonder if it's one of those situations where it's much like Dragonshire Alterac Pass. It's two maps that neither of these teams play during the season. They banned it out every time, and have they even practiced the Hager? I'm sure they've maybe played it in Storm League here and there, but anyways, we can get off that topic. We've talked about him a lot. Just, I love Hager. Like, I think he's a great hero. He's super well-rounded for the solo lane. I also just love, like, the chaos he brings with the bounces everywhere. And sometimes you get these godlike bounces that put you in, like, the most perfect spot. And sometimes you have really awkward bounces where it's just like, you're dead, bud. But anyways, Cassia, Stukov for the side of Chili Mountain. And this Stukov play is 8-2 right now. This is a strong Stukov for Banana. We've had previous weeks where Crowan, he is dominated on this hero.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fantastic hero. At this point in the draft, I want to see either WildHeart pick up Diablo for themselves or ban it. I don't think there's really any way that you can let it through, and they're not picking it. But they are changing things up, and they're going with a bit of a variant now as opposed to a MyEv. This is the change that I wanted out of WildHeart, so I'm just excited to see what pairs up with it. I think it's likely to be something like a Karazhan later on. It could be Tyrande as well. I think Tyrande can still work out with the variant, even though it maybe is not going to be Taunt, it might still be Colossus Smash. But the Tychus pick, I think, does pair pretty well with it as well. And we got Brightwing for the global. They've done it. Falstad for the gold potential. Now Chili Mountain, I think, really the last pick that you can think about for global is going to be Dahaka. But if not, then WildHeart will have a macro, I think, XP advantage there.
I like the Dahaka for the side of WildHeart. I think both teams actually could play the Dahaka realistically. I think he's just great for the solo lane. Maneuverability is really strong. Falstad already banned out from the side of WildHeart, not wanting to deal with that. Do we see a Mephisto maybe down the road for Chili Mountain? Let's see what this next ban is going to be. What this next ban will be. And there's the Mephisto ban. Okay, so Diablo's still up and available, Grubby, and Cattle's Diablo's been pretty good. There's been some unforced errors here and there with positioning or maybe shadow charges, but all in all, I would say it's a positive for Chili Mountain in these games so far.
I think so, but this time there's Tychus. There's also Varian, who can do a lot of healing debuff. I wonder if it's going to be a Nubarak this time. They're going to delay it for the last. Stitches is, of course, banned. A Nubarak, you could Cocoon Varian, move past, and go for the rest. Make on Sylvanas that he had... well, if it is Make on Sylvanas, before it was Azerite. Hey, it is going to be Hogger.
He's in.
Yeah, I mean... Blaze and Urel were banned. These are the two winningest for WildHeart. They are going to be choosing Hager now. They're up against it. It is going to be Tyrande once again as well. Big single target blow up comp here for WildHeart. I was wondering if there will be a Medivh pick for Chili, but they kind of decided not to worry about the Variant Tychus blow up at all. They're going to just be turning on the aggression back on WildHeart, which makes me think Anubarak.
I agree with you. I really like the Anubarak. It plays into the mobility. Oh, the May is pretty good as well. Wasn't considering double blind potential into the Tychus as well as the Tyrande, because I believe Tyrande needs to get those autos. Because if you're blind and you auto as Tyrande, you don't get the cooldown, correct? Because it'll
Correct.
be a miss.
No heal CDR
Exactly.
while you're blinded can be nice. She doesn't heal with the level 4 talent 175% of her auto attack damage to a target of her choosing, either with Elune's Chosen. And you've got double blind into Tychus, which is nice, and into Varian. No magic spit value from Brightwing. You've got the blind May Cassia synergy. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I think is a problem for Chili, they don't have like a strong tank to disrupt Hogger. May has a big delay on everything, which means she cannot actually disrupt Hogger's abilities.
Well, Crone, we're about to load in. I got to get your thoughts here and your breakdown as well.
Yeah, I think WildHeart prepared for the Diablo. If they didn't ban it, they have the tools, like Grubby mentioned, of Varian and Tychus to deal with it. So Chili Mountain responds and says, you know what, you're right. You prepped against this. We're just gonna go Mei instead. Mei is decent, but I'm not sure that it's going to be enough. I think that WildHeart changing up their draft as much as they have here with the Varian and Tychus priority, and then going into Hogger. It's not like they haven't played Hogger ever. They have played it a couple times. So that, along with the Brightwing Gold potential, I think I'm actually going to give this one over to WildHeart. I think that they have changed up enough that they can potentially start their comeback here.
Well, we'll see if that'll happen. Thank you, Crone, for your analysis and breakdown as we're here into Sky Temple map number 3 in our first best of 5 of the day. Chili Mountain in the blue, trying to close it out in a 3-0 fashion. Maki on the Savannah, Sazerite on the Cassia, Banana, playing Stukov, Burgolt on the Diva, Cattle on the Mei. Over on the WildHeart side of the map, they're going to try and start their reverse sweep potential. Zergling on the Hogger, Weary Day on the Brightwing, Unaverted on the Tychus, Buds on the Tyrande, and Pit Kid on the Varian. Sentinel, it's going to go out. Is it going to hit? Is it going to connect? No. Awkward. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Chili Mountain. Grubby, what is your breakdown analysis?
C-Smash.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be C-Smash.
Nice.
We're scaling here. WildHeart went for the triple quest, the Journeyman Cooking, that makes Hogger better at point control and static location fighting, but worse at macro. On a macro map, I think it's an interesting choice. And he is the 4-manner. Hogger is the 4-manner. They're gonna put Varian pre-level 4 as the solo laner. I think that makes sense. You should play it like that usually. Liking Unaverted's adaptation with run and gun, movement speed and range in order to get away from Mei's combos keeps him a bit safer. Overall, I think the biggest weakness is the Mei into Hogger doesn't punish him as much, but because WildHeart aren't a big fan of Hogger, I think it is going to be okay, and it's well considered to really allow Azerite to pop off. His Cassia is insane. We saw that plenty of times. He's got the bonus blind damage now from Mei. I think it is a fairly even draft. Overall, I would give a small edge again, though, to Chili Mountain.
There's momentum, it's a comfort map, and there's some other stats we can go through. Like, WildHeart actually has lost 3 times in a row with Tychus. They've never had a win with him. Not to say, like, oh, GG, go next, that's it. But, you know, sometimes, you know, stats give us a little insight into what's the priority. Banana gets shredded by the Tychus almost. He's going to get marked up by Tyrande as well. But Banana, able to get reactive Ballista Store's value, and able to back off. No real sweat for the side of Chili Mountain, as Diva's doing some double soaking, or at least soaking through top. Mei in the mid lane, Sylvanas to come in and help as the Siege Giants have arrived through bottom. Azerite will poke at this, building up her Lightning Fury stacks, Thunderstroke stacks with the Lightning Fury. And Unaverted is A-okay in that bottom lane. It's looking like an okay start for both sides, but Unaverted was putting some decent damage into Banana during that camp potential invade.
And what's his level 4? This Master Assassin. We got Magic Spit coming. We got Auto Attack Talent by Hogger. These guys are addicted to quest talents. And Varian, what is he going to go for? Not twin blades.
No. I don't think so, especially into the double blinds of Cassie and Mei. I feel like it's just like it's gonna be just goodbye, Varian. That's it. I'll say goodbye to Anduin. We'll see you later, bud. But Pit Kid's still holding 4. I'm unsure as to. Okay, there it is. He goes in on Banana, maybe waiting for Weary Day to make the rotation down, but I still don't think there's enough damage to find a kill into Banana or Azerite.
And meanwhile, he's stacking Cassia up a bit. Meanwhile, on the other side, the more impactful side, the fight over the Bruiser camp, as both teams try to see whether they can get a bit of damage on that keep wall. The temples have opened up and are receiving visitors at this time. Diva is making use of her visitation rights, and Burgold is on the point. The first laser shots are going for Chili Mountain. Nobody in mid yet. WildHeart, they're sending Brightwing up top. They're going for Maka. He's low. He gets away. 750 health. Totally fine. Good peel. WildHeart conquers the rest of top. As immediately, Chili Mountain moves their chess pieces to occupy the middle of the map and get that zone controller, get these lasers.
I like the play. C-Smash Varian you can hear around the map as Azerite takes a bit of damage. But also, really quickly, how much is the reduction from C-Smash? Is it's
0 because he did. He did. No, it's minus 20.
Okay,
armor.
so you can still have 10 armor on Cassia, was the one thing I was just trying to figure out very quickly, as long as you have the full avoidance. But now Burgolt, low on their Diva mech. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Oh, Weary Days zoned. Make auto finds the kill. Unaverted now, being body blocked. Icing from Cattle, not quick enough, and Unaverted's able to back away. Second kill, second blood, over to the side of Chili Mountain as mid lane Temple confirms mid lane Fort. That's big siege potential and periodic catapult pressure for the side of Chili Mountain with a passive experience gain from the structure being taken down.
And WildHeart is getting out macroed a fair bit, as you would expect with these compositions. Double support, not very good on Sky Temple usually. Avoided for a reason, because team fights can often not be forced. Both the distance between the lanes, as well as the watchtower, as well as the inevitable escapability of solo laners like Diva, means that rotations are often not rewarded when their goal is kills. Whereas the mercs on the map are far away from each other. Bruiser all the way north, Siege all the way south. The temples are inexorably propelling you towards victory without the need for any team fight. WildHeart needs kills is what I'm trying to say, but rarely are team fights gifted to you with these kind of compositions when teams don't want to have it. Chili Mountain is okay with it now because they've got the level 10. If they get a single kill right here, they can just grab boss and they will be up 3 forts.
Let's see if there's an ice wall in bottom lane. It does come out, zoning back the enemy team. There's going to be an icing. The blizzard actually kind of bops Varian out of the icing, or out of the blizzard. Anyways, Ford in bottom lane is defending itself as best it can. Make will start using those black arrows to let the siege potential happen. But Chili Mountain says it's an objective phase. Let's back off, maybe tap well, get ourselves in a better position as Unaverted chases in, trying to chunk a few of these enemy members. Does have that combat tactician as well at level 7, but now 10s are here on both sides. Varian goes in once again onto Make. Ooh, very good icing. Protection status from the shield wall at 10. There's the phase shift in from Brightwing. There's going to be a lot of damage from Burgle, who does come in. There's a massive shove from Banana onto Weary Day, and Weary Day's like 2 HP. I think it was maybe like 12 or something, Grubby. Oh my god, I cannot believe WildHeart lives there.
Sick escapes there, but at the end of the day, Varian looked mortal, and he looked abusable, and his C-Smash wasn't even close to leading to a kill. But with double healer, you reset quickly. WildHeart got lucky to stay alive. They are now lucky to get the temple shots. If they can actually continue to reset their health pool better back to full, they may yet have a chance here to fight over the majority of these shots. But Chili Mountain is stepping up. May gets comboed, polymorph. That's some important cooldowns gone. Chili Mountain gets more confident to attack. Zergling takes a lot of damage, but there's a teleport. There's an ice wall to save Banana. No! Banana does get destroyed. It is advantage to WildHeart. They get the first kill here. Where's the next C-Smash? It's 10 seconds out.
Burgold will lose mech. There's a Lunar Flare that doesn't connect. Nice use of the Loot Horde. Ball lightning out from Cassia, and Diva goes down. Azurite being chased in. Is there a grenade over the wall? Is there enough damage? Unaverted, low, but backs off. This objective phase is going to be stalled out as Stukov is respawning now. There's no way you go boss here, too. This feels greedy from WildHeart.
Yeah, it doesn't even feel good. Even if you get it, your top fort is dying, mid needs soaking and deep pushing. But on the other hand, if you allow yourself to get out macroed, like by not taking the boss, you may be giving it over for free to the other team. This is a high-risk decision. Most of the XP mid can still be soaked. Top fort has about 30 globes or so of small XP that WildHeart would love to go for. Mark is already pressuring it. Where's Hager to respond? Where's Brightwing? I mean, you get the boss. I think this is going to be a net win for Chili Mountain in terms of siege.
I would agree with you. And Chili Mountain, maybe that's the big play for them right now, is just trying to open up the map a little bit further, find parity, and maybe get a little bit of periodic catapult pressure to match from Chili Mountain. Varian comes in, massive shove just to disengage the Varian, but Tychus is still shredding. Commandeer Odin will come down. Meanwhile, in top lane, Sylvanas is having a nice little 1v1. Can Make get away? Nice use of the standing inside of that circle from the Bruiser camp, because it gives you a little bit of spell armor. But there's a nice wall in the bottom lane. Good call, Grubby, with that top lane, just to see what was happening up there. And the boss goes down at bottom.
They've been fighting for a while, and in the end, Make did what he came for. He got a near full HP forward, got away. Hogger not able to catch her. Of course, Hogger has a Ornapult that he used in a one-on-one. It did not convert to a kill. Aka gets out. I mean, that's a great job there. As we look at the pieces on the board, XP fairly even. We have 2 full HP forts for Chili, and WildHeart has 148% HP fort. Chili Mountain looks to end even that. XP good for WildHeart, but it's structures that not only win the game, but that feels even more so the case on Sky Temple. Chili in the lead. WildHeart though, vision from Tyrande is going to become ever more important.
God, the haunting waves with the Windrunner at level 4, or excuse me, level 13 from the Sylvanas. It's a lot of really good mobility too. Like I actually love the way that Chili Mountain's playing into WildHeart. WildHeart has had a few shining moments. It's 2-2 in kills. A little bit of an experience advantage for the side of WildHeart as they pushed in through bottom lane and found a lot while there was a few members dead, and also later game kills will yield higher experience. So that's why we're seeing slight advantage to WildHeart. But double temple phase, middle of the map, bottom of the map. How is this going to be played? D.Va clearing out top lane. WildHeart maybe looking for a fight, Grubby.
And they're in a good position. This also means that it's hard to get to bot. As circling goes in, that's a nice ice wall, but Azerite gets dropped to 10%. This is sick amount of damage. Odin goes deep, unaverted, gunning forward as Bitkit confirms the kill together with unaverted. That's a 5 versus 4 situation now with plenty of resetability and healing for WildHeart. What tools are there still available for Chili? They have no heroic abilities left. D.Va mech gets popped. WildHeart doing a fantastic job to take the fight. But I feel like it's Chili Mountain's fault for taking it. For taking that fight into a team that needs it, that craves it as desperately as Gollum craved the ring. Why not just send one bot, get the bottom temple, trade out in true Sky Temple cowardly fashion? Anyway, everything's been said and done. It happened as it happened. And Chili suffers 2 losses, but will still be trading. This is still something WildHeart normally doesn't want, and they have to do a vanilla push in order to make their temple worth the most. But Chili is here to defend.
Chili Mountain looking to step in. Make on that bottom lane temple, which is going to be firing onto a keep front gate rather than this mid lane firing onto just the mid lane fort. Mid lane fort will go down, and a few shots should go actually onto top lane fort, but I'm going to go peek at bottom lane really quickly, and those shots are hitting straight onto keep front gate, but there's going to be a big ice wall coming out from the mid. The polymorph onto Burgold is going to confirm the D.Va mech. There's a lurking arm from Stukov. Big shots from Burgold, but can he get back into the mech in time? No! D.Va mech goes down. Varian finishes out High King's Quest. Make does get the full shots out of bottom lane, and I don't think there's going to be a Sentinel to scout this out. Half the keep goes down in bottom lane. Boss is up in 50 seconds. A little bit of time still into that one. 16's up on both sides and 20 seconds on D.Va. Things are slowly but steadily looking better and better for WildHeart here.
Yeah, I don't think Chili Mountain wanted to take that fight, but positionally it was difficult. Because their mid fort is so close to the objective, had they said, we just play macro, we take bottom temple and we let them take mid shrine, the problem with that is that the moment you do that, WildHeart can stop standing on the temple and do a 5-man attack into your mid fort. So WildHeart did really good positional play by taking that middle temple. It is the most important one. It gives you access to every other part of the map, which would even prevent a top push by Chili Mountain. So good job by WildHeart. They're now looking to make another play here. Bitkit uses his banner. He jumps on cattle. They're doing a raw push 5-on-5.
But there's a very low Zergling ball. Lightning's bouncing around. It actually goes back to Zergling, but it's not infinite. Varian goes down in the split fight. There's going to be a huge Wailing Arrow just onto Bud's. Haunting Wave will not be triggered by Make. Bottom lane being cleared out by Banana a little bit. Actually, no, he's advancing into this engagement. Azerite and crew looking to cut that off the retreat path of WildHeart through that boss area. Zergling getting slowed. That's another kill onto the WildHeart side. And Chili Mountain have frozen the competition as boss is looking easily available for Chili Mountain, but no, they're going for the throat. It's 40 seconds for 4 players, half a keep in bottom lane. Is Chili Mountain gonna shut out WildHeart in our HeroesCCL ladder bracket? Is this gonna be a 3-0, Grubby?
It looks like it just might be, and I think this is a correct decision. I think you want to make use of Death Timer still being there. There's a virulent reaction. That's enough to kill the Tychus, most likely, as Unaverted does go down. Ice Wall just to confirm it. It's a solo Varian. You've got 10 seconds. Ignore the Varian, get the kill. All right, it doesn't matter. Both are valid. And it is indeed a Chili Mountain 3-0 rout. Who could have expected this? Chili Mountain, perhaps. We'll find out in the post-game interview. GG, Chili Mountain 3-0. And WildHeart, after winning the first match yesterday, are unable to replicate Simplicity's feat of taking their 6th place league standing into a Cinderella run. Great play. We've enjoyed your performance in this season so much. But sadly, this time, 6th place is where it ends for WildHeart. Chili Mountain, this is their day, and they're going to be going up into the next match.
Wow, I'm a little surprised it went this way, Crow, and I got to get you back in here. I want to get your thoughts on everything that unfolded on Sky Temple.
Yeah, I'm also a little bit surprised, but I think that's because Chili Mountain played a lot better than I would have expected. Sky Temple, of course, is a map where you can just win from structures, and Chili Mountain maintained a structure lead very, very well throughout the whole game, especially because of the Sylvanas value. WildHeart team just wants to fight. They can't really do much else, but Chili Mountain's team can do both. They can win on the macro side, the structure side, but they can also win in late game team fights when they force WildHeart into bad spots and exploit that. That's what they beautifully did in the last team fight, took out 4 members and then pushed to the win. It's just overall super well played by Chili Mountain. They're stepping up big today, and getting a 3-0 versus WildHeart, like, that's not an easy task to do, but they did it.
There's no bottom bracket run for Granite Gaming or WildHeart, as they have been eliminated alongside Diamond Hands. It's unfortunate for the side of WildHeart, but you know, talking about Season 1 and the growth of Chili Mountain through Season 2, this is well deserved from Chili Mountain in how much effort they put into this, and the shutdown, the play, and the playmaking coming out from this entire team. Beautifully played, really well executed, an exciting series nonetheless, but a 3-0 over to the side of Chili Mountain. We're going to get an interview with one of those Chili Mountain players here in just a second, and it's just been really, really fun. We might have Make on the line right now. Make, can you hear us? Oh, not yet. Sorry, I jumped the gun. I was really excited to ask him a few questions, but soon. I got baited by production. I'm going to tell everyone. Haha. Anyways, now they know. But it was a really, really good series, and I think Chili Mountain, they just came in with a lot of homework done into WildHeart, Grubby.
Yeah, they prepared their Sylvanas and Mephisto, and I think these are 2 great picks. Of course, they could already play this very well, but it really matched up well into WildHeart that always runs double support. Mephisto loves big five-man brawls. Sylvanas is required to break apart double support. There's always a few ways to do it. Big AoE silence, Stitch's isolation style, out macroing, and then there's of course healing debuff. But I think the strongest one is isolation and silence. Sylvanas, Gul'dan, Stitches, they do this. This time it was Make on Sylvanas that was the weapon there. Mephisto when permitted. It was good damage dealers, a really good DPS strength from Chili Mountain. As Cattle was reliable, Bergholt and Banana. I think Bergholt improved a lot as well. I don't think he's the best solo laner in CCL, but he improved a lot. He had a lot shakier season in the beginning, in the first half of it. So props to him for stepping up as well. Banana H always been excellent. Now a 9-2 record in Stukov, if I remember your stats correctly, Bahamut. So Chili Mountain are looking real strong, and it's promising for them going into Oxygen in the next round that we'll be watching later today. But Oxygen, they've been able to take all this in. We'll see how they respond to this burgeoning team.
We've got Make on the line right now with us now, and we can ask him about a few quick questions as he's probably getting ready for that next best of 5 series. Make, my friend, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Hello, guys.
Hello. Now we got to ask. I have to ask this immediately. Was the game plan just to shut down the double support playstyle of WildHeart, or were there more layers to the Chili Mountain playstyle today?
I mean, I think we expected a double support since from yesterday. I mean, we saw a lot of double supporting. Some variants, some Garrosh, and I mean, I think we structured our draft from the start to just be fine facing double support.
That was very well played. I want to throw it over to Crowan for a quick question as well.
Yeah, I think, though, did you expect actually this series to go into a 3-0, Make? And also, following question is, where do you expect to go with this ladder run? Do you expect to be able to come out actually and go #1 in the season, or kind of where do you think you're likely to fall realistically?
I mean, we'll see. I think Simplicity is obviously a very strong team. I don't think we had the best showing against them last time we faced them, but I think those are probably the hardest opponents. But yeah, I mean, on a good day, I think we can beat them. I think we have had decent scrim results versus them, and obviously scrims and tournament are very different things. But like, I think in general, I think we should be matching up to them pretty decently if we're having a good day. And then I think if both are having a good day, it's going to be a really good match. But yeah, I think 30k. Well, when we last played them, maybe they have evolved a bit. And Storm, I think Storm has good drafting. So Storm is obviously also very strong. But yeah, we'll see. I think we have to take on Oxygen, and we'll see if we get there.
Well, thank you so much. And so humble in your answer as well. Grubby, a quick question for Make, as I'm sure he's got to get back to the team to prep for that Oxygen game.
Yeah, it's Make, very well played by you guys. Just dominating performance. I guess I just had one question. You guys played 2 matches on one day today. How much do you dare to think of the Oxygen match, or did you take it one step at a time?
I mean, obviously we prepared a bit for both. I think you don't want to go into like in the break in between. Now you kind of want to focus on just drinking water, getting some food, and preparing for the next game, and then you kind of want to have your draft prepared. So we were looking at Oxygen a bit as well. But yeah, mostly focused on this one. But like Oxygen, I feel like they bring a different. After we faced them, they've brought different drafts and different metas every single game, so it's hard to prepare for them as well, because you never know what they're gonna draft. They're kind of weird. So we'll see. But yeah, we checked them out.
Sounds like a very stable way to go about it, but I can see the ambitions are there for the crown.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like now we're gonna go take a swim, real fast swim, eat some food, and then we're gonna be good to go.
Midnight swim.
I don't want to keep you too long for your midnight swim, because it's just about it's about midnight in Europe. So I'll let you run out of here for that. But before you run out, are there any shoutouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours, Make.
I mean, shout out to my team. Shout out to Chili Mountain. Awesome work. Shout out to Burgult. He's been popping off lately. He's been doing really good. Vote for him, guys, in the pool. Most improved player.
Awards.
Yeah. All right. That's about it.
That's all. All right.
Yeah,
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy your swim. We'll see you in a little bit for that next matchup versus Oxygen. Good luck to you and your team.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Make. I've never thought of that, Grubby, just to go for a midnight swim in between my games. Maybe that's the key to getting to Grandmaster. Maybe just you gotta take a break sometimes, and you just gotta go swim. Maybe I'll just jump in the hot tub in between my games. Let's go ahead and
dive in head first.
No, oh god, no. But let's dive head first into the bracket, because we have a little update onto this. So we're here. We're at the top of the ladder. We've got Oxygen versus Chili Mountain. And I'll be honest, Crowan, this is not the way I expected this weekend to shake out. I didn't expect a lot of 3-1s. I did not expect that 3-0 just now.
Yeah, definitely. I think the Chili Mountain 3-0 versus WildHeart is certainly the most surprising thing that we've seen this weekend thus far. And I think it's a testament to 2 things, but mostly Chili Mountain are just showing up big. I mean, we heard the confidence, I'll say confidence out of Maki to be like, yeah, on a good day, we can take these top teams. They proved it versus WildHeart, but even though, WildHeart isn't necessarily a top team, I think that they're still a very threatening one. And so the fact that Chili Mountain can 3-0 them means that they might be able to have some closer series, say versus Auction next, but I'm still believing in them right now, actually. The progression from Chili Mountain from week 1 until now, I actually think is massive, so big hopes for them in this next series and moving forward, potentially beyond that.
On the note of the next series, we're going to take a little bit of a break and get ourselves ready for that, as well as get these players into a lobby and get all of our map bands situated as well, and allow them to, as Make was saying, go for that midnight swim, eat a little snack, and get prepared, because it's a long day for Chili Mountain as they still have to face Oxygen next up. But in that break, I encourage you to hit !PSD, where you can get to the wonderful curated catalog of Wisdom underwear, or I guess Wisdom curated catalog. You can use Wisdom at checkout for 20% off of your order. That is WISDOM. And I also want to encourage you to hit prize pool. One of our viewers, Texas CPA, has put a challenge to the community. If we hit $14,500, he's going to donate $500 more, which will push us to $15,000. So maybe when we come back from the break, we'll be able to see that new number for us all here at HeroesCCL. Either way, we do really appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit prize pool to check out the Matcherino page. Lastly, !Awards, go get your votes in, as Make was just saying. But we've got an interview with Kyle Ferguson and Red Robot. We'll see you in a little bit for that Oxygen versus Chili Mountain matchup. Don't go anywhere.